Hi everybody, I'm so happy to see you. I thought I would do a little demo of the process that I usually use to warm up, and it's always different every single time I do it. So I like to share and kind of talk my way through it so that it gives you a jumping off point to work with your own process. And just like I always say, it's never about doing what I'm doing exactly. It's just to give you ideas of how the flow goes. It's about using the tools, finding the tools that work for you, and finding a flow that works for you. Some people don't really want to use acrylic paint or wet stuff. That's fine. You can just play with pencils and pens and crayons, that kind of thing. So we're gonna get started. And I'm gonna start, as always, by just some loose mark making on the page. And this time I'm using a skinny pencil. And I really like to hold the grip loose. I don't want to be trying to control this or doing precise movements. I just want to let my hand go where it wants to go. And you can really get your body into it too. I kind of recommend that. And you can do this on your desk, you can do it on the wall, you can do it in a journal, on a big piece of paper, on a big piece of cardboard. The world is seriously your oyster with this. You can be as creative as you want to be, and you don't need fancy supplies to do this. I once did a demo of just using all the random things that were in my boyfriend's drawer in his kitchen, and it was really fun, so you can try that too. So I'm going to move on to a graphite crayon because I just love these dark marks that it makes, and it feels very satisfying to just push this into the page in a different way than that light touch. I've said this before, but the graphite stick is such a great way to work with anger. I don't know why, it just feels really good. So the harder you push and the more you scribble, the more you can kind of work whatever's going on for you out. So now I'm just going to put a little white gesso on here, and gesso again is not necessary. You can use white paint or any color paint. I like gesso because it's kind of chalky and it has a different texture. And I do repeat these things in the different videos, so if you've heard me say that, just ignore me. And then I'm going to come in with some color of some kind. I think I'm going to go for a oil pastel. These oil pastels are water soluble and they're inexpensive. The brand is Portfolio. It's on my PDF. I just love them because they really work into wet media well, and they come in lots of really wonderful colors. Again, I'm just letting my hand go where it wants to go. And when you're doing this on your own, you'll really get into your own zone with it. You know, it's different right now because I'm talking and demonstrating. If I'm on my own, I usually put music on and kind of get into a flow with myself, which is the goal. So I invite you to try that on your own and just play with all the different supplies and see what speaks to you. You know, it's like something that speaks to me might not speak to you at all. You might find something else that you really like. So it's really important to pay attention to how things feel in your body when you're doing them, and just, do you feel, does it feel right? Does it feel good? And as you can see, I'm not making anything intentional. I'm not trying to do a composition. I'm not trying to make a beautiful piece of art, as you can see, but it feels so good. And even though I'm demonstrating, I'm feeling myself kind of come into my joy and come into the moment, and it just feels amazing. Just making some more marks. I really like to just make tons of different marks because it builds up the layers and it just feels so rich and full. And I'm just using the brayer now to just kind of move some of this yellow around. Ooh, squeaky brayer. That's a little annoying. Let's try the other one. So it's just satisfying. I don't know. I love the rollers. They feel really good when you're moving paint around. And if you do a light touch, you can kind of get some of the pattern that just came through with the squirt that I did. And you can work into that. Ooh, I made a flower. That's interesting. I just roll with it. That's all I can tell you. Light touch again. You play with all the different touches, you know, like scribbling light, scribbling hard. Just see what feels good to you in any given moment. And it changes from day to day because, you know, you're processing different things or feeling different ways. And I think it's really important to just show up and be honest about where you are in each moment. And that's what this process is all about, is bringing yourself into the present moment, bringing yourself into your body, and just letting yourself be here, arrive into this place. This is just an old AAA card. You can use old credit cards, old hotel room keys. They make great paint spreaders. And again, it's another sensory thing. It just feels good to scrape the paint around. And you can see, you can kind of scrape it away and reveal what's underneath as well. Or you can just put it back down. You can make marks with it. So I could keep going and going and going on this piece, and I might do that. But for today, I'm gonna just stop here and hope that you can now take some of this process and make it your own. That is the most important thing. It is not like me or anybody else, it's for you. So you can play with all the tools. If you don't already have my free PDF, please let me know and I can send it to you. And it has all the basic supplies that I use. And get creative. See what you have around the house and see if you can use some of those and how those work. Paper bags from the grocery store are a great piece of paper you can use to do the process. Copier paper, old pieces of cardboard. Really, you can do anything. You can get cheap house paint and use that instead of buying acrylic paint. If I can support you in any way, or if I can give you any ideas, please don't hesitate to reach out. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a really wonderful day. Happy creating.